If Pac was here, who you think the girl would have been with?
In a stunning turn of events, perplexing new evidence has emerged that all but confirms Jay Z and Diddy performed the hit on Tupac. But why is this so? What exactly is this evidence? What could their motivations have been? The quick answer is that the reasons are more specific than you may believe. You'll be surprised to learn what truly happened, so stay tuned. According to rumors, Jay Z was so envious of Tupac Shakur that he intended to get rid of him so he could take his place as the top rapper. New evidence has just been unearthed that appears to support this assertion. Jay Z was just named the best rapper of all time by Billboard magazine, whereas Tupac did not even make the top 3. This prompted many to wonder whether Jay Z bribed or manipulated his way to the top and whether Tupac's death had any bearing on his success. According to sources, Jay stood to benefit significantly from Tupac's death, fueling conjecture. But did he play a role in Tupac Shakur's demise? According to Big Jip of Goody Mob, there's some major tea to be spilled on this subject.
Come on, how can you be better than Pac? You one-shot Charlie.
Jip recently sat down with Art of Conversation and spilled some hot tea about what could have happened. He believes that if Tupac were still alive today, Queen Bey would be in a sexual relationship with him rather than her husband. Jay-Z. Jip added that Tupac had a natural edge and swagger that Jay-Z simply couldn't match, which is why he's ranked higher than Tupac on the best rappers of all time list. Yet, let's be honest, you can't beat Tupac's heart in the game. The only reason why you inching Jay past Tupac is that he got goddamn Beyonce. Jip reasoned. You take Beyonce away then shit? Bar for bar, yeah, he might rap better than Pac. But Pac came with the heart. That's different. That's just different. You can never beat the heart, bro. Jip even compared their styles to that of Michael Jordan and LeBron James, two renowned basketball players. Jordan was technical, but LeBron was a complete jerk. Tupac suddenly had that gangster edge that Jay-Z could never equal. Just like the difference between Jordan and LeBron, Jip continued. Jordan, technical. That motherfucker is technical. LeBron's gangster, coon shit. Two different styles. If Pac was here, who do you think the girl would have been with? But wait, there's more. Jip also believes that if Tupac were still alive, he would have smoked everything while walking. Nobody can deny that he was a triple threat, and his influence on hip-hop cannot be overstated. Not to mention, around the time of his death, he was branching out into acting. What do you think he could have done if he had lived? But here's where things start to get interesting. Jip argues that Tupac had a thing for women and that if he was still alive today, he would have pursued Beyonce in the same way that he pursued Jada Pinkett Smith. Hey, let's be honest, Tupac would have gotten Beyonce if he wanted her.
Nobody ever recorded as fast as him, put out as many songs as him. And baby, the girls didn't love you like that until you got the money, man.
Now, don't get it twisted. Jip says, and all about just saying to you is just like you went after the #1 girl in the game. He would have went after her too. That's all I was saying. And all I'm saying is he was a phenomenon before the industry understood what he was. He was a rapper that was trained in acting. So personally, he came with a skill that we didn't even have in the game at the time, Jip further explained. He never talked about buying a girl nothing, but he had them all. When the Los Angeles Times disclosed that the notorious B.I.G. had paid gang members $1 million to assassinate Tupac Shakur and supplied the gun used in his 1996 murder, the public was shocked. An investigative piece written by Chuck Phillips, who has extensively covered the murder and spent over a year researching the case, has surfaced, explaining the circumstances leading up to Shakur's fatal shooting. According to the Times, East Coast rapper Christopher Wallace, aka Biggie Smalls, met with numerous Crips in Las Vegas on the night of the killing. Not only did B.I.G. agree to pay the killers, but he also insisted on using his own, a loaded .40 caliber Glock pistol that he then placed on the table, according to Phillips, quoting anonymous gang members. The revelation of Biggie was shocking to me, Phillips told MTV News on Thursday. When this came up, I don't believe it. So, I went about trying to disprove it in various ways with various sources, and that's not what happened. What I ended up writing is what happened. According to Phillips, Orlando Anderson, a Crips gang member who has long been accused of killing Shakur, is said to have done the deed. According to the investigation, Anderson and other Crips planned the murder in retaliation for a beating Anderson sustained earlier that evening at the MGM Grand Hotel from Shakur, Marion Suge Knight, and their associates during a Mike Tyson fight. Biggie and Shakur were feuding, and according to Phillips, Biggie told the Crips that he wanted Shakur dead, so the Crips conspired to murder Shakur and collect payment from Biggie. Biggie's claimed gang affiliation stemmed from his record label's usage of Crips as security guards. However, Sean P. Diddy Combs, the rapper's best friend and Bad Boy Records boss, denied the allegations. If you go back to my stories that I wrote prior to this, I never believed hardly anything about the Biggie-Shakur feud, Phillips said. People kept telling me it was serious, and I didn't believe it. But apparently, it was. Although depending on police affidavits and other evidence, Phillips maintains that the information in his piece on the notorious B.I.G. comes entirely from his interviews with gang members. Phillips claims to be the first to introduce it. As far as I know, no police ever interviewed Biggie about this crime when he was alive or anybody at Bad Boy or people he knew. Phillips combed through videotape footage of a boxing match conducted at the MGM, the same hotel Biggie was rumored to be staying at, in an attempt to independently corroborate Biggie's presence in Las Vegas, but he was unable to locate the rapper. He also called Biggie's mother, Valletta Wallace, whom he had met during his research into the allegations surrounding Biggie's death, to confirm the rapper's alibi. The reporter attempted to get her to comment on Phillips' story, but she rejected it after learning of the allegations stated in the piece. While it is not mentioned in his report, Phillips did indicate that some of his sources felt Biggie was merely talking about a good kill when it came to Tupac and didn't want him dead. In the rap world, some people are real and some people aren't real, Phillips said. The people who did this murder are real, and the people who killed Biggie are real, and those aren't the only people they have killed. It's a different world. So, when this thing went down, it was a matter of pride. He couldn't say, "I didn't mean it." According to Phillips' story, B.I.G. was accompanied by a handful of goons and East Coast rap pals at the meeting with the Crips. When asked if his sources indicated any specific identities, Phillips replied, "None that I'm willing to talk about." Phillips stated that at least one of his sources was there at Wallace's meeting, but he declined to say whether or not any of his sources were among the 4 Crips in the white Cadillac that carried out the drive-by shooting he depicts in such detail. All I'm going to say is that I think I have very good sources on the story. Section 2 of Phillips' report dives into the policing of Shakur's death. Media have long accused Orlando Anderson of murdering Tupac, but no charges were ever filed against him. Anderson was assassinated in a different incident 2 years after Shakur. According to Jordan Poole's study, Death Row CEO Suge Knight arranged for the death of his label star rapper, and affiliates of the West Coast mob Peru Bloods gang carried out the hit. Poole was the main detective investigating Biggie's murder, a case the highly decorated officer took on not long after probing the shooting of former Death Row inmate and LAPD officer Kevin Gaines. Poole found after an extensive investigation that night an alleged hitman for hire named Amir Muhammad, and a squad of rogue detectives led by convicted bank robber David Mack were all engaged in the planning and execution of both Biggie and Tupac's deaths. Poole resigned from the force after becoming disillusioned with the brass's alleged refusal to examine his tips. Sullivan argues in both his book and a previous Rolling Stone story that his bosses did not want it made public that some police officers had ties to Death Row Records and criminal organizations. So, there's a lot to support the theory that Pac was Jay Z and Biggie's target, but we may never know for sure. And that's it from us today. Until next time, bye.